Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items without second readings and item number 4, so item 4 and 7?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. On item number 4, Department of Public Works, can we talk about this overestimate bid for 135th Street West from Central to 13th Street North?
Good morning, Mayor. Paul Gunsman, Public Works and Utilities. This is, we had open bids on this project for the intersection only for the traffic signalization. We have a bigger, larger project that will open bids to improve 135th Street from Central to 13th, but with the long lead times on traffic signal equipment, we decided to bid this early. So we had one traffic signal contractor bid on the project, and it was over the estimate by a little bit, $65,000.
Can you again explain why the increase of $65,000?
That is our traffic signal equipment. We had put our estimate or the budget in, and with the one bidder, it was over our estimate with the price of signal materials, traffic signal poles, controllers increasing over the past year.
And what's the total cost of this project?
So the overall project cost is $6 million, if I recall correctly, and that includes the improvements of 135th Street from Central to 13th. We just broke out a portion of the budget for the traffic signal at this time.
So we'll still stay within the $6 million budget. It's just the portion of signalization that has increased.
Correct, and we'll take bids on the remaining at a future date.
And when will this project be completed?
We begin construction on the widening project in 2025, so it'll be later next year.
Thank you. Any further questions? I see none.
I have one quick question. Reading the recommended action, it says it's recommended the City Council affirm the board's bids and contracts recommendation. So under financial considerations, it says staff recommends initiating the $500,000 for right-of-way. And then in another aspect, it says that basically the staff doesn't require to go out to the rebid for the $65,000. So is the vote for the initiating the $500,000, or is the vote just reaffirming the overbid and not going out to a bid at $65,000? Or is it subsequently both?
It's for the $500,000. You already have an approved budget of $1,075,000.
Okay, so it's just initiating the $500,000, and then it's just the recognition of the $65,000 being overbid. Okay, thank you.
The second item is item number 7, second readings. I just wanted to highlight that last week when I asked staff to now give a summary of these second readings, now there is a summary. And I just wanted to say I appreciate that staff went ahead and did this, starting with this consent agenda. So now moving forward, there's going to be more of an explanation of what an ordinance change will look like. Any further questions on item number 7? I see none. Motion to approve items 4 and 7 in the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Board of Bids and Contracts dated August 26, 2024.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council, Josh Lauber, Department of Finance. The Board of Bids and Contracts convened August 26th for the following items. For engineering, we have the water distribution system, stormwater drain, sanitary sewer improvements, and paving to serve Bunker Hill Addition for Noack Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $599,122.40. This will be subject to your approval of a new engineer's estimate and budget authorization September 10th. We have the paving and incidental drainage improvements to serve courtyards at Moorings Addition Part C for Prado Construction LLC in the amount of $118,128. For purchasing, we have the Mid-American All-Indian Museum re-roof rebid for Farha Roofing LLC for an aggregate bid total of $349,176.36. We have the Old Wichita Central Library re-roof project for Aaron Parson Painting LLC, DBA AP Roofing and Specialty Coatings in the amount of $638,769.54. We have the publication of legal notices. We're rejecting all bids. And then we have the publication of legal notices requesting your authorization for SIJ Holdings LLC, and the DBA is incorrect. I need to make that change from the podium to be DBA McClatchy Shared Services LLC in the amount of 60 cents per line or each, with an estimated annual usage of $9,000 per year. This is how to become a vendor with the city. These are open public opportunities, excuse me. We changed it up a little bit, so these are all bids, all proposals, all items, and you also see that in your formal bid report on the last page. And I'd be happy to try to answer your questions, and I recommend your approval.
Josh, could you explain the difference between the two legal notices?
I'm sorry, the two what?
The two legal notice?
Yeah. Okay, so this one, to talk through it real quick. Ark Valley News, they submitted a rate of 54 cents per each. They withdrew their bid. McClatchy, the Wichita Eagle, submitted a bid of $6 each. Upon clarification with them, that should not have been $6. It was submitted in error. They requested, hey, could we give a bid of 60 cents? We do not like changing bids or modifying bids or accepting late bids after the fact. So that is the reason we're doing this step, to reject everything, because we do not want any sort of perception or publication or some sort of misrepresentation that bidders are allowed to change. So that was the reason for the rejection outright. And then this would be the second slide to request an authorization to go with 60 cents.
So it's the same item, just, okay, got
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Can you go back to the re-roofing?
Sure.
So we have two re-roofing projects, both the Mid-American All-Indian Center and the former Central Library. Are these the final things in terms of capital improvements for this year for those two buildings?
Mayor, I believe that they are. I don't believe we have anything else planned at the old library for this year.
And this will take care of, again, the leaking ceilings at the old library. Thank you. And then item number 3, or slide number 3, this will come back to us on September 10th?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is this because the budget now has increased for that?
There is a request for a budget increase, for a new engineer's estimate, and to authorize that new budget because the bids exceeded the engineer's estimate. You are correct.
What was the engineer's estimate initially?
Let me tell you. Total engineer's estimate, and Paul, please correct me if I'm wrong, $771,669 was the engineer's estimate.
We'll get you that information. I reviewed the draft report, and I do know that the bids came over, so I think we've got a wrong number. Josh is picking up the wrong number, so we'll have that for you.
Bob, will both of these roofs be done this year?
Will the
Will
two
both of the roofs?
Paul or Gary?
Great, thank you.
And I apologize, thank you, manager. The issue is the bids aggregate, but in this specific line item, sanitary sewer improvements and Bunker Hill Court, the bid exceeded the engineer's estimate, so the aggregate was less, but if you go by line item, the engineer's estimate for sanitary sewer improvements, $151,538. The vendor bidded $197,198.10. The actual Bunker Hill Court or paving was bidded at $246,791.40. The engineer's estimate was $737,169. So those two line items exceeded while the aggregate was under.
And since this is a special assessment project, you have to give approval for that.
My apologies.
Thank you. Any further question?
Could we just go to the last page regarding open bids still available?
Yeah. This is the first and second.
Okay, thank you.
A motion to approve the Board of Bids.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Petitions for public improvements.
Good morning again, Paul Gunsman, Public Works and Utilities. I have one location for your consideration this morning. The signatures on the petitions represent 100% of the improvement district, and the petitions are valid per Kansas statute. The Kings Coast Edition, located in District 2, the project will provide water, storm drain improvements, and sanitary and sewer improvements for a new residential development. And it is recommended that the City Council approve the new petitions and budgets, adopt the new resolutions, and authorize the necessary signatures. Let's stand for questions.
Any questions for staff? I see none. I motion to approve the petition for public improvements.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Approval of travel for Councilmember Tuttle to attend the National League of Cities Inclusive Entrepreneurship Program for Childcare in Kansas City, Missouri, September 25th through 26th, 2024.
I motion to approve the travel for Councilmember Tuttle.
Second.
Motion and a second. Oh, Councilmember Tuttle.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a few comments. This is the wrap-up for the project that we've been working on. We kind of called it a task force, if you will, here in Wichita, but we were selected by the National League of Cities to be one of 7 communities across the nation to work on childcare. We were asked to develop one goal for the project, and we developed 4 of them, and I can say 3 of them were, well, 2 have accomplished and 2 have really good progress being made. And so it's going to be great to go and highlight what we've done in Wichita, but then also learn from the other 6 communities that will be there. There will be no cost to the city for this travel. I will be traveling with Tanya Bullock from Child Start Incorporated. She will be driving. She'll receive reimbursement for mileage from the National League of Cities, and our hotel accommodations are paid for the National League of Cities. So be happy to come back and tell anybody who wants to hear more about our progress and what we're learning from other communities. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Council member appointments and comments.
Are there any appointments?
I have some. I would like to appoint Claribel Gutierrez Ramirez for my youth DAB and Jessica Maldonado for Diversity Inclusion Civil Rights Board.
I would like to appoint Kristen Stinnett to the Ethics Board.
I motion to approve those board appointments.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Council member comments. I'll just say thank you to the folks over at Norton's Brewery who hosted a town hall yesterday. Councilmember Dalton Glasscock and Vice Mayor Ballard, as well as myself, were in attendance, along with City Manager Bob Layton and Assistant City Manager Troy Anderson. I think that, again, this is a great opportunity for people to voice their concerns, but also help us with some solutions. And there are further dates still available regarding downtown parking. You can check out the wichita.gov website for those open meetings. And we will have an update on September 10th, but no action, really. It's going to be more of a status update on September 10th. And again, just as a reminder, 2 weeks ago, we halted this plan. Therefore, there is no equipment that is being bought, and this plan is stopped at this moment until further notice. So again, thank you to community members that are being engaged regarding downtown parking. We really appreciate it. So please continue to come out to these town halls. I motion to, there's no workshop today, so I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much.
18 minutes. That's good.